So in part 2 of What's on the Bench, we're going to continue the work on the legs. Specifically today, we're going to try and get some more dome shape into these knee cops, maybe work on the greaves. I've had to pick up a few new tools for this. I've got a pair of vice grips just so that I can securely hold this. I've picked up a new dishing stake. So as you can see the 2 dishing holes that I've got in the stump, but that dishing stake is steel and it is much deeper. I've also picked up a hand torch, so this will help me locally heat the area here. And I've also got a ball stake in the vise, so this will hopefully help me raise the knees over the top. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to see where it goes. This is all about learning and hopefully coming up with at least a functional piece of armour. So after working this first one with some heat, you can see in the centre there where we've raised the knee out a little bit more. We've got a much more uniform shape than we started off with. It was very, very twisted before, but it's very much uniform now. It's dished inwards at the top. I'm not going too deep with these because these are going to be a floating set. So as you can probably see, there's the crease. That's going to sit nicely wrapped around there. It's going to obviously be fastened with points, leather. It's going to sit roughly like that. And see if I can get the angle from the side, but as you can see, in terms of if the knee was bent, so straight, bent. So we've got a nice amount of overlap coverage on that. So next, obviously going to do the second one and move on to the greaves. So I've done both knees now. Got that nice dish in them, as you can probably see. So it's going top to bottom as well as left to right. They fit quite nicely around the top of the crease. It should look pretty good. It's going for functional rather than aesthetic. First time ever doing this. But as you can see, you just see on both of those, there's a nice knee cup shape. So next, the greaves. So as you'll have seen in the time lapse, I've done the first greave. Didn't really need much in fairness. I've had to emphasise where the ankles are using the ball stake. Obviously raise those out, as you can see. Then I've had to apply some heat on either side, just above the ankle, and effectively knock that inwards. So we've had to bring the metal in. And what we've ended up with is quite a nice anatomical shape. So you can see the width of the calf, coming down into the ankle, so where it goes skinnier just above your ankle, and the swell for the ankle. These bits at the bottom are going to get actually trimmed with a grinder, so they're not going to be as rough as that. And the flare on the above the ankle, just to make it comfortable on the top of the foot, is there. But that's the first one. I'll go on and finish the second one, and then I'll come back. Just coming back to you now. So I've done both of them. This one still needs a little bit of shape and trim to that bottom, pull the swell in, but as you can see, quite a nice anatomical shape now. And each one, the ankle swell, the thinner the ankle, and then the widening to the calf. So that's them forged to where I need them. The rest of the cleanup's going to be done trimming these corners, do with an angle grinder just to make those as they need to be. Do the same on the others, and then it's straps and putting things together. Here we have the finished set after part 2. So this is the heated elements for the knees, for the greaves. Still some fit and finish work left to do. A little bit of adjustment that needs to be made just to pull that in a little bit more, because that's a bit more pronounced than this one. But everything's almost where it needs to be. And then it'll just be a case of part 3, which will be drilling holes for straps, mounting the knees to the creases, and basically getting them on and giving them a go. So okay, stay tuned for part 3 where we should finish these off.